Well, what is up, Cowboys Nation, on this? I don't know what I should call this, a terrible Tuesday. That's not necessarily a terrible Tuesday because, I mean, I don't know. There's no, it can't be too terrible. I mean, I feel like if you say that, it just really magnifies things, makes things seem a little bit worse than they are. But an interesting Tuesday, nonetheless, as we heard some comments from Jerry Jones, a little bit of sassy Jerry Jones coming at Jane Slater when she asked him a question, and he kind of had to clarify because at first he said you, and then he said, well, not you. He said your problem, and he said no, not your problem. But it's Jerry Jones kind of set him up for this. Nobody's feeling sorry for Jerry Jones at this point right now because he set himself up for this, right, with the all-in comments. And it's kind of a good thing to see, in my opinion, that some of these reporters are actually holding him accountable to his words and not just letting him spit some dumb stuff. Even though now you're starting to see some weird Jerry Jones. He keeps scribbling on his pad. I don't know what these little notes that he's making, but he's doing a lot of scribblings. He was talking to Jane Slater, and he's talking about equating doing deals to being an option quarterback and having different options. And I don't know if Jerry has been watching football over the last, 10, 15 years, but the way of the option quarterback in the NFL has really become obsolete. And in fact, you don't really see a lot of the option in the college game anymore. But yet Jerry Jones is using, as no surprise to any of us here, some kind of outdated verbiage, kind of the way he's talked about a glory hole. I want me some glory hole. I don't think Jerry really knows, that glory hole. When we hear that, we don't think of an oil well. We think of a hole in the wall, and you know where I'm going with that. But I digress. So Jerry is sitting there, and he's made some interesting comments during the offseason, basically just kind of backing up his statement that they are indeed all in. And it continues to frustrate Cowboys Nation. It continues to frustrate, the whole fan base, really. I would say most of us, let's say about 10% of us are kind of giving him a slide, letting them pass and say, you know what, let's see how the season plays out. It's not too bad. There hasn't been anybody that we lost that we can't replace, even though I don't know who we're going to replace the guys that we lost with. It's not so much about the talent that went out the door. It's the lack of talent coming in the door. It's the fact that the Cowboys have been on the precipice, 12-5, 3 straight seasons, bounced in the first round of the playoffs, right? That's what's been frustrating. Follow that up with you didn't do anything this year to address any weaknesses. At least last year, we could say that the Cowboys were trying when they made the addition of Brandon Cooks to a receiver core that was lacking a little bit. And then they added Gilmore in a secondary that was lacking a little bit, right? So we addressed a couple of weaknesses. Now, I get it. We went out and we got Kendricks. We added him to a linebacker core that's definitely lacking a little bit. But in the running back position, when there were several running backs to be had, and none of them were at big prices, the Cowboys, what they do, they took their hands, they sat on their hands. Now, I know Jerry continues to say that they have been all in, but I don't know what all in means because Jerry has said, your all in is not my all in. One idea of being all in is to be all in, and me all in, I might be just doing some dry humping. And for me, that's pretty much all in. Jerry, you got to take your clothes off to go all in. It's been one interesting thing after another, and it's just the continued frustration, at least on my part, having to listen to those guys talk, having to listen to Jerry Jones, having to listen to Stephen Jones, and just the ignorant things that they continue to say to a very smart fan base. And I think it's insulting to us because we can look at the cap. We can see how much you spent. We can see that when the free agency period started, 31 other teams made moves. Only one team did not, and that's the team with the star, the most recognizable brand in all of football, that didn't make a move. We can look and see who has spent the most in this offseason and who has spent the least, and it's the Dallas Cowboys. We can see that there is a quarterback right now on a lame duck deal who they haven't done anything with, which if they would have done something with, would have freed up a ton of money coming to the offseason. Now they're going to sit there and say, okay, well, we got CeeDee Lamb, we got Micah Parsons. Guys, we know how the salary cap works. We know that the salary cap continues to increase year to year. We know these deals can be done because we have seen other teams do this. Now, I'm not trying to pretend and sit here and say that I'm some kind of GM and that I've got the magical answer, but we have seen other teams operate within the parameters, sign their star players, and get these contracts done early enough so where they don't have to have other guys like a Justin Jefferson get signed and then we got to beat that deal. Or we have a big name QB sign and then we got to beat that deal with the Dak Prescott. Or we have the next big name defensive player and then we got to beat that deal with the Micah Parsons. Get these deals done earlier and you can avoid some of this. Maybe not all of it. You're still going to have to pay these guys and you're going to have to give them some good money because obviously they have earned that. And I'm not sitting here saying that when it comes to in terms of Dak Prescott, I'm still on the fence about the whole Dak Prescott deal. I think Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. I think he's the best quarterback in the NFC East. I think he is the reason why you have a chance to be winners of the NFC East for the first time in the NFC East back-to-back years in a very long time with this team. But I would also say that the Cowboys have some options out there when it comes to Dak Prescott. And it seems like right now they're kind of at an impasse whether it comes to Dak Prescott, whether it comes to the Cowboys. I heard Dak Prescott talk. Sounds like he's kind of tired of the talk. It sounds like he's ready to bet on himself. It sounds like that may be the way that it's going after you've heard some of those comments earlier on in the week as well. So, you know, you hear these things from the Cowboys front office. Now you're starting to hear these things, you know, from Dak Prescott. Then you hear Jerry Jones, and he's getting a little chippy with the reporters. But hey, listen, Jerry, you're the one that said you were going all in. You're the one that made that statement. You can't say you're going all in and then expect the fan base and the media not to hold your feet to the fire when you have basically sat there this whole offseason with your thumb planted firmly up your ass and continued to sell us horseshit, okay? You can't sit there and sell us a line and expect us to just buy into it because you say so. We're all in. This is our idea of being all in. We know what all in looks like, and this ain't it. We've seen teams do it. We saw the Rams do it a few years ago and go out and win a Super Bowl. We saw the Eagles do it. Now, they didn't win a Super Bowl, thank God, but they still made it to a Super Bowl. We've seen the San Francisco 49ers continue to do that. They go all in. They get the big name free agents. They're trying to build and do what they can and spend big money where they've got a quarterback on a rookie deal. Okay. We've seen teams operate within the parameters of the salary cap, sign big names, bring back their guys, and without doing all this messy stuff within the media and trying to talk about, you know, how much pie there is and we're all in or an option quarterback and I got to figure out which way to pitch the ball. And then listen, Jerry, you don't even have your helmet on. You didn't even have your jock strap on right now. You're talking about being the option quarterback right now. You're not even the damn water boy. You're not even the towel boy. You are the owner of this team. And not that great of an owner at that. Because I will tell you this, for all those people that say it's not a Jerry Jones problem and we got to hold the players accountable, we have held the players accountable. I know I've held Dak Prescott accountable. I know I held CeeDee Lamb accountable. I know I held Diggs in the playoff game where he didn't light Kittle up over the middle. I know I held him accountable. I hold all these players accountable and that they got to play big in the big moments. But guess what? The one constant is Jerry Jones. For the last 30 damn years, it's been Jerry Jones. And any other GM in any sport that has went that long with that big of a drought without getting past the divisional round of the playoffs would have got his ass fired a long damn time ago. So don't sit here and tell me that Jerry Jones isn't a problem. Don't tell me that Stephen Jones is not a problem. So when I hear these things within the media, it's a problem for me. It's a frustration for me. It's a frustration for this fan base. There is a reason, and rightfully so, to be upset with this team and the lack of the moves that they have done this offseason. Now, silver lining after this little rant that I went off on is that the draft is ahead of us. We got the draft Thursday night. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We get to take our minds off of the lack of action and hope that Will McClay, Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy, and this staff, Mike Zimmer, and them boys are ready to get down to business and hit in this draft and hit in several rounds. I feel like in this draft, the Cowboys are in need of 4 starters in 4 different positions. I feel like we need to hit on 4 guys that are going to make significant impacts on this team and maybe even a little more than that. So we are going to have a good draft, but this team has shown us that they're capable of building through the draft better than most of the teams in the NFL. In fact, I would say one of the best teams in building through the draft. So there's that. Take last year, let's throw that away, because I understand people are going to point to last year and say, hey, Mozzie Smith, Schoonmaker, it wasn't a very good draft overall. But we have the draft Thursday to look forward to, so I'm not going to focus on last year's draft. I'm focusing on this year's draft. I'm focusing on the positive and what could be. But you know what, Cowboys Nation, for any of you that are out there that are frustrated, listen, I heard the comments. I watched the interview. I'm frustrated. I'm tired of hearing from Jerry Jones. I'm tired of hearing from Stephen Jones. I'm tired of these guys trying to sell us a damn used 86 Honda Civic at the price of a 2024 Cadillac Escalade. I'm tired of them trying to do that. You may be a good car salesman. You may be a good car salesman, but guess what? We are a smart consumer base now, because we got the Carfax. We know what we're buying. We know that that leaky transmission is not just engine sweat on the ground, all right? We know that there's something wrong there. We know that we need to get better running backs right now. We know that our linebackers were our problem. We know that this offensive line, we know that this defensive line is about as thin and reliable as wet toilet paper. So don't sell us some bullshit. Just tell us the truth, man. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us you're moving on. Have some conviction in what you're doing, and just clue the fan base in, because that's all we want. We just want some transparency. We want some honesty. We want you to stop talking to us like we are a dumb fan base, like we are an ignorant fan base, like we can't see the same salary cap numbers that everybody else sees. Like we can see this. We can look these things up. These things are readily available to us now. All right. I'm going to get off that now, because all the ranting is just making me turn red in the face. And I said that I wasn't going to do this, but here I am doing it. I just wanted to drop a video real quick and just let y'all know that I'm here with y'all. I really am. I'm here with y'all. We are taking this journey together. We are riding on this journey together. And like my co-host Mike Tag said, you know what? I take this ride many times for the memories and the connections that I have made in this fan base. He talked about the guys that we have been able to meet at our tailgates, the many fellow Cowboys fans who feel the same way that we do, the many Cowboys fans that are just as passionate as we are. They may just not be able to articulate it in words the way that myself and Mike can. They may not be able to come on and do a video and post it and drop it and be able to articulate it quite in the same way that we can, but they feel the same way we can. And they talk to us and they come on the show and they come on the chat. And it's just those relationships that we form. It's the memories. It's going down to the tailgates. It's the cold beers that we drink. It's the tequilas that we slam. It's that reason that keeps me going. It's my passion for this team that will never change, because I am a Cowboys fan for life. Never going to jump off. Just because I criticize the team and some of the moves we made and criticize some of the players and some of the play in key moments does not mean I am not a diehard fan for life. Look, this is in blood, baby. This is in blood. It's tattooed on my body. I got the triplets right here on this arm. I'm not going nowhere. I am here for life. I am a fan, short for fanatic, till the day that I die, and will always remain so. And I will be here to be a voice for the Dallas Cowboys fan base. And you know what? If you don't want me speaking for you, that's fine. I'm not saying I'm the voice. I'm saying I'm one of the voices, all right? That's all I'm saying. I don't want anybody ever accusing me of saying that I'm getting too big, my head's blowing up, and I'm going to sit there and say, like a certain person that I know on X that says he's the voice for the fans of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say I'm one of the voices. So I'm going to spit some shit. I'm always going to try to keep things real with you and keep it 100 and let you know how I feel. But in the end, we're all ride or die Dallas Cowboys fans. I'm not going to sit there and say that I'm a bigger Dallas Cowboys fan than anybody else, that I'm more knowledgeable than anybody else, because there's a lot of knowledgeable fans out there. There's a lot of knowledgeable people that you can get information from. You got J Tuck. You got Cowboys Fan Talk. You got Laws Nation. You got Cowboys Can Fam. You got podcasts all over the place. Dave Sturcio. I mean, you can name the list. Mark Holmes, one of the great OGs on YouTube. I mean, all up and down, you can find information on this Dallas Cowboys team and about this Cowboys roster and the cap and about draft picks and everything. A lot of education out there for Cowboys fans. But you know what? I feel like every single one that does this does it because we love this team. And we also love this fan base. And we understand that not everybody in the fan base is going to show us love. Some people are going to disagree, but that's fine. Debate and disagreement is all a part of being a football fan, as long as it's healthy and as long as it's kept respectful. But Cowboys Nation, just know I'm riding with y'all. I know y'all are riding with me. And you know what? if you're frustrated with Steven and Jerry, just understand that you're not the only one. I'm right there to being frustrated with you. Mike is going to be frustrated with you. We're all frustrated. We're all riding the same bus together. And, but hey, again, silver lining is the NFL draft is Thursday night. We are doing a live show here on the Cowboys Cave Thursday night. Come and join us. Like, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss any future content, and understand that we are bringing the fans into the cave Thursday night. That's right. You're going to get your chance. Come on the show. Let us know. Voice your frustrations. Let us know who you think they're going to pick. Break down the pick. Talk about the pick. Be happy with the pick. Be mad at the pick. We know we've seen a little bit of both. Last year, and people were up in arms about Mozzie Smith, and that kind of turned out to be that it wasn't the greatest of picks, but hopefully he can get it turned around this year. But listen, we want you in the cave. We want to hear from you. We want to talk to you. We want to bring you on the show. And that's really what we love, that fan interaction, fellow fans just like us interacting to this Cowboys offseason, because at the end of the day, that's what's getting us through this thing. Is it's almost like group therapy. So that's it for tonight, man. Just a short little video here. Looked like a little over 15 minutes. I don't want to keep y'all here too long, but hey, Cowboys Nation, we ride together, we die together, baby. How about them Cowboys? We'll see y'all back again Thursday night. Peace.